All right, perfect. We are live. We are out here. It is Healing Wednesdays. Welcome, everyone. It's your girl, Amber, aka Watch Amber. I am the Confidence Queen and co-founder of Herpes Could Never. I've been called to help women feel unashamed, empowered, and worthy, and I'm using my real life experiences to do so. Gang, tap in. Y'all know how I feel about Healing Wednesdays. I'm so happy to have you guys here. I'm excited to be with my queens, Euphoria and Shayna. And welcome, Euphoria. Good morning, Queen. Grand Rising.
Rich and Divine Risings family, it's your girl Euphoria, the breathwork goddess tapping in. As you all know, or if you may not know, my main focus is breathwork because when we control our breaths, we control our reality and our spirit, guys. I just want to extend gratitude to everyone that's joining this morning, and of course, Amber and Shayna for allowing me to be on this platform and share breathwork with you all. Shayna.
Divine Rising, my loves. My name is Shayna Singleton, aka the Herpes Goddess, and yes, having me is a big flex. I am the founder of Herpes Can Never, growing the largest herpes awareness community of over 270K. Our mission is to be at war with the herpes stigma until the Herpes Can Never cousins feel comfortable being open about their status and proud of their sexuality. It is Healing Wednesday. If you want to join us in on a conversation this morning, I have put the Zoom link in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off now because I'm going to get me some coffee. Love y'all.
Okay, Euphoria, go ahead, Queen. We are ready for this week. I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen this week. We don't work through the chakras. What are we finna do?
Okay, so as you all know, we usually do breathwork at this time, but what I wanted to do this week, I've been listening to, I didn't even know there was a whole entire genre of affirmation music, like rap inspired affirmation music, right? So nonetheless, we're going to listen to some of that music instead of the typical chant or solfeggio frequencies while we do breath work this time. And what we're going to work on this time is just releasing old toxicity out of our sacral chakra. So I'm going to play a song by, hold on one second, because I don't want to mess up her name, Tony Jones, and the name of the song is Yoni. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you guys, and we're going to get started with the breath work.
Class is in session, ladies.
Can you hear?
Let's get into it.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I have this body, my feminine natural body, that has the intelligence to create life. Even if my body will, hasn't,
and just acknowledge your breath first.
I have an innate divine ability to create a life to any structure. I'm a divine conduit for transforming the quality of people's lives. I now open myself up to know the full potential to using my power, my yoni power.
Sacred space.
My hips play wild, and true, being sincere to my convictions. I release all concepts and ideas man taught and conditioned me to think about my body, my yoni, my sex, my sensitivity, my intimacy, my kisses, and what it means to be safe. I release and let go of all attachments, fears, old memories from my yoni, from my heart. I release all shame, disgust, man and woman made influencing ideas about my monthly womb cycle cleansing. I re-educate myself about my body. I'm interested in what moves it. I reintroduce my consciousness to every part of this body that holds my soul so beautiful. I'm so beautiful, it's ridiculous. Inhale. I have my own kind and version of beautiful sex. I have my own kind and version of beautiful sexy. I am my own kind and version of beautiful sexy. I have natural magnetism. I own and explore my purity, exotic femininity. I am empowered sensual soul. I am so deserving of loving and affection. I radiate intimate well-being. Let's kick the real quick. Look at me with this juicy gait that brings pleasure where worlds of men and women are brought forth. birthing all that is seen. I am a part of a community that gives souls and spirit bodies. Pause and rest. That's me, a woman. I affirm, I will dream, purify, mature, live, speak, nurture, and evolve her. I will learn and educate myself about her. I will feed us a healthy, nutritional, loving man that values and honors us. I will relearn and reprogram how I view you in a sacred way. I will love you. I will love you for the pleasure, life, creativity, and power you give me. I affirm I would choose better for you. I deserve pleasure. I deserve pleasure, for I'm a galaxy home of pleasure. I deserve for my body to be worthy of deep intimacy, for I am symbol of deep intimacy. I deserve for my cleaning and healing sex, for I am such embodiment of healing and cleansing. I vow to nourish you with what you need. Girl, you got that good good. I am so sexy and desire, and it feels so good. It's all about falling in love with myself and sharing that love with someone who appreciates me rather than looking for love to compensate for their self-love deficit. Is that all right?
Shake out any stiffness you might feel in the body.
I'm lit, I'm young, I'm pretty, I'm tasty, I'm lovely, I'm sexy, I'm lady, I'm lovely, I'm young, I'm wifey, I'm sexy, I'm pretty, I'm tasty, I'm so sexy, I'm so pretty.
Just acknowledge
I'm so
the God or goddess in you.
I'm loving,
And release.
I'm sexy, I'm tasty, I'm wifey, I'm wifey, I'm tasty, I'm sexy.
This concludes the session of breathwork, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Thank you, Shayna and Amber, for allowing me to share with everyone. And again, remember to breathe, guys.
I was making this coffee like, yes, during the breathing work. While I'm in the kitchen, loud and ratchet, though. I need the song. Hey.
At 8:30 in the morning.
I need the song. Hey.
As you should.
That was amazing. Thank you, Queen.
So after breathwork, what we do affirmations, and I wanted to change how I'm doing the affirmations inspired by euphoria today. So when we have herpes, right, something a lot of women struggle with is, who's gonna want me? You know, that feeling of, am I ever gonna have who I want? Do I have to lower my boundaries? My question for you is, who are you? Who the F are you? I'm a queen. I'm a goddess. I'm a mother. I'm a warrior. I'm fine. I put this new on a pedestal. I'm A1 when it comes to my self-care. I love myself unconditionally, so I know how to show up and love you. I'm a businesswoman. Again, did I say that I am a mother? I am a student. I am a veteran. I got so much going on for me that herpes can literally never. Herpes could not make me feel less of or make me doubt anything that I already am. So I just went on a whole affirmation spree for my goddamn self. But I feel like that's what y'all need to do when y'all get into that space of, who's gonna want me with herpes? Who are you? Do you know who you are? Take a piece of pen and paper, write down who you are, even if you don't like what you're seeing. You scared, you feeble, put that down. Be real with yourself so that you're able to change your narrative. So you're able to come up with the complete opposite. So you can tell yourself something different. So since I was able to speak life in myself and tell y'all who I am, I would love to know who you are, Amber, and I would love to know who you are, Euphoria. Oh, plot twist. Look.
Okay. I loved all the things you were. Yes, queen. Yes.
Oh, hold on. I got one more. I'm Big Purr. All right, I'm done.
Big Purr energy.
I'm done, y'all. Hold on, let me change the name on this. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
I'll go, y'all. Sorry, I was yelling at the dogs in the background. That was amazing. I'm getting my vibes right. The breath work is still having me full. I was up here like, yeah.
I'm breathing.
We need more of that. That was dope, Euphoria. Thank you for introducing. So affirmations. Affirmations was a game changer for me. So I love this. I am life. I am a survivor. I am like truth. I am love. I am a woman, which is just infinite power. I'm a vessel. I'm a life coach. I'm a student. I'm a teacher. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a generational curse breaker. I am love. Ultimately, I feel like love is the ultimate. Love is the thing. Love is more addicting than any drug. Love is a drug, and I am love. So I will say that. But I love thinking and knowing all these things to be, and herpes could never, ever. So that's who I am.
Yes, queen.
Yes, queen. Okay. I loved all those affirmations. All right, it's going to be kind of hard to follow up behind both of you guys because, but nonetheless, Euphoria. I am a healer. I am a mother. I am a teacher. I am a student. Always will be a student, no matter what. Survivor, for sure. Soldier, warrior, curse breaker, naysayer slayer. Like I'm cosmetologist, entrepreneur, sister, daughter. I mean, I'm everything. I'm every woman. It's all in me, you know. Okay, Whitney Houston, word to her, but I'm just a reflection of everything that has brought itself into my space, nonetheless. So I'm going to stop with that.
Thank you, Euphoria, and thank you, Amber, for participating in my little activity. And I want to end it off with what you two are to me. Amber, you're the fuel. You're my battery pack. You are my, what side is the creative side of your brain? And which side is the logical?
The left side.
Right. I think right side is creative.
Oh, the right side.
Left is logical.
Okay.
You my left side of my brain. You
I am the logical side.
You're the left side of my brain. You're a motivator. You're my influencer. You're my teacher. You're my healer. And I love you. Euphoria, you are my calmness in the storm. You are my reminder to reset. You are my reminder to cleanse. You are a light. You are peace. And you are a queen in my life. So I appreciate you both. And I wanted to end it that way because it feels good to speak life into the people that you love. And so often when we're upset and we're triggered, it's so easy to tell the people that we love what they did wrong and what we don't like in them. But what we don't do enough is speak life into the people that we love. So not only should you be speaking life into yourself, you should be speaking life into your loved ones as well. Be their battery pack, fuel them up. It's going to make you want to speak life into yourself even more. It's like a chain reaction. And that's it for my little affirmation exercise this morning. Love y'all.
I liked it. I'm going to use that today with a friend of mine or a relative. I don't know. I'm just going to tell somebody all the things I like about them just because it's going to be fun.
Okay. I'm feeling real loved and whole and appreciated and just zen right now. Healing Wednesdays is cracking. Like if y'all are planning, y'all gotta be Healing Wednesdays. Welcome to all of our cousins live watching us. If you're watching the replay, comment #replay to let us know that you saw it. Shout out to all of our cousins who are live with us on the Zoom call. We see you. We appreciate you. We're grateful that you're here. Each and every Wednesday, you'll have the opportunity to join us at 8:30 on Facebook. This evening, we're back over on Instagram Live, where we have Healing Wednesdays Part 2 at 7 p.m. live on our Herpes Can Never page. And so you can join us there. Y'all, I'm Amber. I am a certified life coach and co-founder of Herpes Can Never. And so I have two things I want to share with you all. I'm kind of just revamping how I do my lessons too, just whatever feels like right in the moment. And I'm going to touch on what, my message from last night was, but I like to read my You Are a Badass for the day calendar prompt, just to give you guys a little bit of nuggets I read every single day. And so today's nugget for Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021 is: often we miss out on the golden financial opportunities, life-changing connections, and heart-opening experiences that we crave because we're stuck in old ways of thinking, believing, and hence focusing. So I'll read it again. Often we miss out on the golden financial opportunities, life-changing connections, and heart-opening experiences that we crave because we're stuck in old ways of thinking, believing, and hence focusing. So my question to you today is, which goes into kind of what we're talking about, like, what do you think about yourself? Who are you? I love that Shayna kind of already led in with that prompt. What do you think about you? What you think about you, what you think about what is around you, what you think about your possibilities, your potential, your limitations, whatever you think is what will be. What do you think about the opportunities around you, the people that you currently know? When I got herpes, my whole way of thinking versus the way I think now is completely different. But if I was still 2021, if I was in the present day, but I was operating with my 2018 mentality, with the mentality that I got when I was diagnosed, how many things would I have missed out on if I was still living, wondering if anybody was going to want me for my herpes, wondering if I was ever going to be attractive or to others, when now the real cheat code is only being attractive and enough for myself is enough to be attractive for others. Like, once you accept yourself and love everything about you, it's crazy. We do everything for everybody else, but if you do everything for you, how it just comes back tenfold. So what do you think about you? If I took my old broken mentality into this year, into even last year, how many things and opportunities would I not have been confident enough to receive? How many things would I not been bold enough to try if I was going off the way that I used to think? So when you're doing this healing work, when you're deciding that you no longer want to operate as the version of yourself that is damaged in areas that you're trying to heal, you have to realize old mindsets have to die as well. You have to realize that old ways of thinking, how you believed about life or what you believed about life. Now, life to me is limitless. There is no cap on what this life can offer me because I truly believe that. I can't say that was always my belief. So as you're healing, make sure you keep your beliefs in check. Make sure you keep what you think is possible in check. Make sure you keep your mentality in check. And if you find yourself reverting, or if you find yourself looking at new situations with an old mindset, there's a pain point there and there's some work that needs to be done. So our book club started last night and it was on Patreon and it was amazing. And last night, Shayna kicked it off with her. We actually got a little bit advanced last night. Our Patreon group, Healing, we do this on a weekly, twice a week. So we didn't start quite at the beginning. So we were a little bit in the meat of things, but we were talking about the difference between a victim and a survivor. And personally, what each of those words meant to us. And current day, how are we living as a victim? How are we living as a survivor? So wanted to give y'all a little bit of sneak peek about how lit the conversations are in the book club, just because we hope to see you guys there next Tuesday. But it just really prompted me to think that all of the growth I've done, I have really changed my mindset. I've really changed the way I think about things in my life and who I am. And that has affected more than just my herpes. That has affected more than just the stigma that I've placed on my herpes. That has truly affected every single area of my life. So when you're healing through this diagnosis, the stigma of this diagnosis, you're not just breaking the stigma of herpes. You're breaking every chain that's on your mind. You're breaking every bound that you have that's keeping you from being who you are. You're truly breaking that if you realize the magnitude of the work you're doing. So that's the word I want to leave y'all with. Ladies, what do you guys think about that?
Well, I can say this is everything that you said, Amber, definitely all facts. Not that it, but how do I put this? Before my herpes diagnosis, right? I feel as though I was living in a mind state of lack instead of growth. I was thinking about all the things that I didn't have. I was always seeing the glass halfway empty. Then it wasn't until after being diagnosed and then coming about this spiritual journey where I started to see everything was glass half full, rather. Like I always say, herpes happened for me. It didn't happen to me. It happened for me to release, like you said, those chains that I had on my mindset, things that I didn't think were even possible. I've been doing hair since before I was diagnosed with herpes. It wasn't until I was diagnosed with herpes that my clientele started going crazy, like doing numbers. It's because I literally had to change my mindset, and I attracted that abundance by, adopting a growth mindset. And even when it relates to breath work, I wasn't able to even be in a situation and not get stressed or let my emotions get the best of me before herpes. It wasn't until herpes came and I was like, okay, hold on, wait. Let's take a moment for me to just analyze the situation and see, why am I thinking like this? Not always saying I'm thinking like this and I have a reason to think it and I have the right to think like this. Instead, really asking, why am I thinking like this? And if I didn't like the answer, I would have to go back and change it, because I want to be a reflection of what I want to be. There's a thing called destiny and there's a thing called fate, right? I don't believe necessarily that every single person has just one destiny and one fate. I think that you have like forks in different roads, and you can take either decision in either path in many situations in life. And when you start to take those pathways that are more so towards growth, expansion, abundance, love, peace, light, you then just get a whole entire different version of your life. And life does a completely, 180, and you're just in a whole entire different space. Like where I'm at today, speaking publicly, even being present on social media wasn't a thing until herpes, until breath work. So I definitely can relate to that. So thank you for that, Amber.
Jane. Thank you, Euphoria. Thank you, Amber. Again, last night was lit. We started off with the quote, "Be selfish with your peace," and tying it down into how it relates to being a victim and a survivor. And I want to run that to everybody. Run that. How would you say that saying? What saying am I thinking of right now? Why is my brain going blank? Anyway, let's just review that quote and how it relates to being a victim and a survivor. I was telling the first cousins that every time I'm triggered and I'm upset, even if I might take on this attitude like I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor. If Euphoria were to say something to trigger me, and my first reaction is to say something back to her that would trigger her even more than me, if I decide to react, if I decide to pop off, I'm being a victim. I'm then saying, she is the cause of my anger. She is the reason why I'm snapping out right now. She is the reason why I left my peace. Every time you choose to be selfish with your peace, every time when you're triggered, when you say, I don't want to become this emotion right now. I don't want to lose my peace right now. No, I can't be happy in this moment, but I definitely don't want to be angry in this moment. What decision, what words, what actions can I take that's going to better protect my peace? In that moment, you are being a survivor. You're actively choosing to be a survivor and not to be a victim. This may be hard for a lot of people. People have pride. I'm not going to let nobody make me a punk. I'm not going to let anybody just say anything to me. I'm not going to let anybody disrespect me. You're not going to let anybody do that. People you have no control over. They can do whatever the hell you want, but you will just let go of your peace. That's self-sabotage. When do you stop and say, why is it so easy for me to give people my peace? Why is it so easy for me to just let go of my peace and my happiness and my soundness just to prove a point? That's work. I'm gonna end it off at there.
I wasn't always this self-aware, and this healing ain't for everybody. Like, I mean, that level of just awareness and turning things and reflecting back on myself. Who was I talking to? Oh, I was sharing the fact that I have herpes with just like a client that I had never told. I don't know if I've probably only done her brows a few times. She's an older client. And I was just talking to her. I was like, yeah, some herpes. She was like, I'm just surprised by it. She was like, so did the guy know? You know, asking the traditional questions most people ask when they find out that you have herpes. Like, how are you so comfortable talking about it? I can't believe you're just saying it. Did you think he knew? How do you feel? Were you upset? And just listening to my answers. I mean, this was probably like in the last 3 or 4 days, listening to my answers, like, wow, I've grown so much. Cause I'm just like, yeah, maybe he knew, maybe he didn't. He said he didn't, but I was like, at this point, I don't even really think about him no more. As far as just like when I'm thinking about my herpes story, I'm so much focused on like, because that whole situation, the fact that I got ghosted, the fact of how it all played out used to trigger me so much. And because he gave me herpes, I could immediately go into this. He ain't shit. This, that, dog. I mean, I could make him feel or make him look worse than I could potentially look in the moment. I could truly rest in my victimhood. I could truly rest in he did this to me. But it's like I choose to be a survivor because I say that, like, no, I accept my part. This is what's happened to me since. This is how herpes has benefited my life. Like, where I once was so comfortable operating in that space, it's just flipped so much. And it's all because I've done the self-reflecting questions, like try to figure out, am I acting as a victim? Am I acting as a survivor? Who am I choosing to be? What am I choosing to think? What narrative am I choosing to, what agenda am I choosing to push forward with my words and my thoughts? Because they are very powerful. So that's what I wanted to share. This victim survivor, real.
Okay. I'll say this to add on to that. I posted something on Instagram on my story the other day, and it says, when you can remain calm while being disrespected, you have now unlocked a new superpower. Now, someone DM'd me and said, yeah, that's the easiest way to get played though, LOL, jokingly. And I said, hey, the post said to remain calm, not green. Okay. I can be calm and still consciously know that you're trying to disrespect me and choose to not react because, like Shayna said, my peace is so valuable. I'm so valuable. My body, my mind, my soul is a temple. I'm not going to allow someone just because they feel the need to get something out of me. They need some energy. They're trying to pull something out of me that I'm going to actually deliver to them at their front doorstep. That's kind of foolish to me. Like you said, pride is the one thing that I feel will get a lot of people, I don't want to say killed, but yeah, killed. Like, our spiritual body needs to live on. And a lot of people are still operating from the physical where they need that validation, that, somebody being on their side to look big, when in all actuality, we're all down here to get along and understand each other and understand even. So taking both of the things that you ladies have said and just remembering the calm is so much more important, guys, especially when it comes to herpes, because stress is the number one cause of outbreaks, guys. We do not want our nervous system to start triggering just because somebody said something. It's like, for what? I'm peace. So again, that's why I thank man upstairs for my herpes, because he taught me remain peaceful and breathe.
Thank you for that, Euphoria. You gonna say some things that trigger some thoughts in my head. You and Amber both. Pride. Pride don't have to be an ego-driven thing. Pride is ego-driven when you decide to react to somebody. I'm not gonna let nobody punk me. I'm gonna say what the hell I have to say. That's ego pride. You put pride on your piece. I'm not gonna let this mug get a reaction out of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let this person take me out of my piece. That's spirit pride. Pride has such bad juju put on it, but you can turn your flaws into something good. And back to what Amber said, When I found out I had herpes, I found out I was pregnant. I was in a relationship. I automatically blamed my child's father. Automatically. That was my story. And I ran with it. With education, I learned, okay, herpes isn't usually included in your average STI panel. I didn't know that. 2, I don't even know how to read STI results. You know what I'm saying? So even if I'm looking at my last test results, I can't even go back that far, honestly, to bring that up and look at it to see if I was even being tested with herpes in the first place. And 3, when we started our relationship, I didn't require to see his sex health records. It's so unfair of me to blame him just because I was with him. I had to take accountability for where I lacked at. We think about marriages. We hear that a lot. I got herpes from my husband. I got herpes from my wife of 10 years, my wife of 25 years. But did you enter a marriage without knowing your spouse's sex health history? Did you make a commitment for life with somebody without knowing for sure for yourself what your spouse may have had? You just did it based off of trust? And then you find out you have herpes in the middle of a relationship and now you want a divorce. Where is the accountability on your part? You know what I'm saying? I entered this marriage without knowing. Where's the accountability at? Another part of accountability. That's just not just marriage. That's just not relationships. That's all together. When we place the blame on somebody else, you are stopping your healing. When you blaming somebody else, the stigma's always gonna haunt you. Point blank. If you hear yourself saying this person gave it to me, you're always gonna live under the stigma. You'll never break free of the stigma. It's at the point when you start to turn that finger back around on you. And for my true victims, and I'm gonna say my true victims, not the ones who just trusted your boyfriend and girlfriend to tell you about your STD status. I'm not gonna call you a true victim right now. Sorry. My true victims, my rape victims, my molestation victims, and my children, the people who had it since they were children. Those are the only people that can blame somebody else for their herpes. And still in that, it's damaging. You know what I'm saying? With that, I think for my true victims, I think what you need to do is just say, this is something that happened into my life. Sacred contracts. This was written out for me. This is a part of my purpose. This is a part of my path. I was meant to have herpes. How is this beneficial? Figure out that. That is your journey. How has herpes positively impacted my life? And if you don't know, go on a journey into finding out why. Make it a part of you. Own it. That's how you take your power back. And back to my individuals who got it because they trust somebody. That's all of our stories outside of the rape, molestation, and the people who had it since they were children. That is every single last one of our stories. We done trusted somebody. Or we was out here trusting people and having unprotected sex. We was in a relationship having unprotected sex. You may have had 2 bodies and still got an STD. That don't make you no better than the person that got 100 bodies and got herpes. We all was out here being irresponsible. We was all out here having unprotected sex without educating ourselves first, without knowledge. And I want to end it off with, there's no reason why you should be having sex or unprotected sex if you know nothing about STDs. And if it's your first time hearing this, the time now is to learn. Learn about your STDs, every single last one of STDs. Condoms don't protect you from all STDs. Condoms won't protect you from herpes. Condoms won't protect you from syphilis. Condoms won't protect you from genital warts. Condoms won't protect you from pubic lice. Learn about your STDs, y'all.
Preach.
Preach. Exactly. I can definitely say you hit the nail on the head with that one. Okay? Sealed the casket.
Cousin, do you have something you want to say? I didn't know if you're in a position you could share. I know you did. Grand Rising Queen.
Grand Rising, beautifuls. I almost missed it, but I made it.
Yes. You was in the comments. I said you had to get up on here and share if you could.
Yeah, so what I was saying was literally taking responsibility for my part in the role, and my role in the situation is what literally set me free, because I was a victim. I was blaming him. I can't believe him. I trusted him. I knew it was wrong. I knew I was clean. I knew nothing was going to happen from my end. But once I decided to no longer make it about him and make it about me, and knowing that, well, I didn't take all my proper steps to move forward with him at the beginning. Why should I feel any type of way towards him now? You get what I'm saying? Yes, like I'm saying, I trusted you, but shit, you trusted me too. And he didn't know. So it was like, well, at this point, you have nothing to do with me now. And if I want to feel better, I have to know, Pamela, you were a part too. You weren't raped, you weren't molested, none of that. So you're not why would I sit here and blame somebody else? Being responsible set me free. It was like opening my door and walking outside. Literally. It was literally like, okay, you took a part. Okay, it's not his fault. Simple.
Yes, thank you, Queen. Back to thank you, all that. And when Shayna said, when she was talking about her, when she found out she was pregnant, the day she found she had herpes, and how the narrative was so in her favor to just dog him out because of the situation, how it was set up. I mean, it was just like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, how she could just paint this narrative. And like, even if maybe she didn't want to, how it could just be so easily fueled by others, right? So I could be telling my story and somebody would be like, oh, he ain't this, or I can't believe he did that. Just be cognizant and mindful of the people's opinions of the opinions of those around you, because they're going to try to sway you from where they're speaking from, which is most likely brokenness, which is most likely a victim mentality. So just because you have 10 people around you who are agreeing with the fact that he ain't shit, still don't mean that that's truly the case. It just means that you have people. Misery loves company. Pain loves company. We don't, like Euphoria said, we're here to understand and understand each other. That's why we were created, to bond and to relate. So when y'all trauma bonding over the fact that you got done wrong without acknowledging the fact of the roles you played in it, it's not vetting your story, or it's not adding more, I guess, like substance to what you're choosing to share, because you have other people around you that are validating that version. You're still having to realize that y'all all might be operating from a broken place. So that's what I wanted to share about that.
Okay, well, I'll add on to that, right? Okay, so as it pertains to my story, when I found out that I was herpes positive when I was 17 years old, right? Just like everyone's saying, it wasn't until I took on the responsibility and the whole entire acceptance of my responsibility in the whole entire thing and how it played out, I realized I was smoking with friends. I didn't know, somebody had a sore in their mouth. They said it was something else. We'd like, okay, whatever. You sure? We trusted him, whatever. But then I also was in a relationship where I wasn't requiring to see results. So I can't even rightfully point my finger at one person when I was diagnosed. I know it's 2 possible ways that I could have been diagnosed, but I don't give that power over me, because it doesn't even matter. Because at the end of the day, like we've all been saying, it was my responsibility to say, he has a sore in his mouth. I probably shouldn't do this. I probably should just go home anyway. This is my partner. I want to have, sex. I want to be doing grown people things. I got to do grown people things and say, let's go to the clinic and let's go get tested together. Or what are your results? Have you gotten tested? Because like you said, Shane, I didn't know that herpes wasn't included in the panel. So all these times I'm getting my STI results back and they're saying da-da-da-da-da. I really didn't even know until the day that they actually tested me. So this is actually something I could have been carrying on from the time that I was younger. Because I remember I had a family member that used to have canker sores on the inside of their mouths. And, oh, we're going to drink after each other. Oh, share my cup. So until I decided to say, the responsibility factor is that this is no one's fault but my own. And not necessarily a fault, but this is just my responsibility to handle, to claim, and to know that I have to grow from this. Because even if I did blame someone else, what is that going to do for my healing? But give me someone to be angry at. Give me a reason to be angry. Give me a place to put my anger that really it's not even a place to put it, because, again, this was also my fault. I didn't ask for the information. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for that. So then moving forward, even after that, in 2018, being diagnosed with genital herpes, I didn't ask again. So again, can I really sit here and say he did it, even though we use protection and, based on what results say, oh, well, if you see something 2 days after an interaction with someone, that's probably what happened, where it came from. At this point, this is like, okay, that name doesn't exist in my story.
Yeah.
The situation exists in my story. It happened for me. I'm here and I'm growing from it. And it gave me more reasons to heal everything else that was going on inside of me. So thank you again, herpes, because you could never. And thank you for the healing that you brought to my personal life outside of just the herpes, but everything else, because you could never. Okay.
Listen, Euphoria. You said that name. That name is not gonna listen. When we blame somebody, you allowing that person to live rent free in your mind. And so every time you move forward in a new relationship and you hear yourself, oh God, you're doing your disclosure and you take the sad approach to disclosure and you victimize yourself and tell the whole story about how this person gave it to you and you trusted them, you're allowing that person to live rent free in your mind. When you decide to take responsibility for your parts in it, when you move forward in a relationship, you don't even have to talk about your ex. They're a non-mother factor Evelyn voice. I wanted to tap in on, when we find out we have herpes, why do we assume that it's the person that we was with? I always get well, I got tested and I know I was good. Do you know you was good? If you know you was good, what are you looking for on your test results to know if you have herpes or not? If a person tell me negative or positive, they lying, because that's not how you figure out on your test results if you have herpes or not. So next, why do we assume that our partner already knew? We get herpes and it's like, oh, they gave it to me. They knew, they lied to me. I trusted them. They should have told me. They told me they were good. They probably got tested. They probably thought they were good, but they probably didn't know herpes wasn't included in the STI panel either. Just like you didn't know. Next, what if it was you? What if you had herpes in the beginning of the relationship because you didn't know herpes wasn't included and you thought you was good and you gave it to them? You was just the first one to find out that you had herpes. Do you think about that? When we complain and we blame the other person, you're fueling a stigma. And you're making the stigma worse for you in your own life, because you're making the community look bad. You have to understand that when you talk about somebody in this community, whether you think that person gave it to you or not, you are now talking about yourself now, because you are also a part of the herpes community. So when we all have these sad stories about somebody else, blaming somebody else for our own sex health, you feel the stigma. We are grown, y'all. Having sex is a grown activity. A lot of us started doing this grown activity when we weren't grown yet. And yet people are doing grown things without education, without knowing their STDs, without knowing simple things like what they're getting tested for, without saying, hey, doctor, can you explain these test results for me, without requiring to see STD results. I get a lot of questions on, but what if they don't want to show me? How do I ask for that? Baby, if you don't know how to ask for somebody's STD results, you should not be having intercourse. That's point blank, period. You got some work to do. You got some healing work to do. If you want to avoid anything toxic in your life, you need to get over that hunch of why am I so afraid to ask somebody for their STD results? But then I'll be so quick to complain if I get an STD.
Yeah, she's telling my story. Hold on now. Wait a minute. I mean, I didn't know I wasn't prepared to get read today.
I'm reading you because I'm reading myself. Okay.
I was like, hold on, what?
It's coming. I'm coming for younger Shay so bad right now.
Younger Amber's like, no, she ain't talking about. No, I didn't. I would want to ask, didn't ask. I was embarrassed to ask, and then got mad when I got an STD. What?
That part.
Hold on. Make it make sense.
It don't make sense. It don't make sense. And it goes right back into us making ourselves the victim. Why do you want to be the victim? I post on TikTok. I get all the comments all the time. I'm a victim too. I'm a victim too. I'm a victim too. As if people is proud of that.
Yeah. Because there's still pros that come along with being a victim. When you choose to be victims, there's victims are also kind of coddled and supported, depending on, victims are viewed or handled differently per se. And so there is an incentive to identifying yourself in that category. But the thing is, if you consented, that victimhood is taken away. Victims are for those who didn't have an option or a chance or choice.
Did you just say consent?
Yeah.
You just said consent, right? Some people be like, it's rape because I didn't consent to the STD. They should have told me about the STD. And I'm sorry to cut you off because I say this. When you decide to have sex with somebody unprotected, you are consenting to everything that comes with unprotected sex, point blank, period. You, as the person who don't know your status, and I'm going to just go ahead and say it, as the person who don't require to see STI results before having unprotected sex, are making an assumption that that person is STD free. What makes you think you so much better than that person that they can't make an assumption that you have an STD and you don't want to tell them just as much as they have an STD and don't want to tell you? Why the person with the STD can't make the same assumption as you?
And what they say about people who make assumptions.
Life
on that note. Look, Pamela's weak. She's in the comments. I sip my tea like.
Look at me.
No, but for real though, y'all ain't ready for this, right? Y'all ain't ready to be called out. Y'all thought y'all was gonna get coddled and be like, oh, we know, we understand, we're sorry. We're gonna be like, look, did you ask? No. And if you did and it happened to lie to you and say no, or they said no because they didn't know, or they said no because they lied. Either way, there's only so far you can let that narrative take you. Stop. How do you feel? What role did you play? If you didn't ask, why? I didn't ask because I was ashamed because I didn't feel comfortable. Okay, why? But I still did it anyway. Okay, but why? I mean, that's when you start drilling down into the figuring out, and you get to that point, you get to the base. You were like, oh, I don't feel comfortable. I feel like from my childhood, or I feel like from my past situations, maybe even my early teen years, when there's conflict or when there's an uncomfortable, embarrassing potentially, which talking about sex is embarrassing, but not doing the sex is embarrassing. I don't even know what that, how these taboo topics, you don't want to be the one to bring up, but it's like that started from somewhere. So we have to address that. And I had to get back because that was literally my story. I did not ask. I wanted to ask, didn't ask, and then got mad because of that. I mean, literally my story.
Ooh, child, we talking.
I know we talking. We have to hang over. Part 2's coming tonight. So like, if y'all are free, catch us over on Instagram because we're gonna wrap things up. We got a super busy day. Ticket sales have started for our first ever virtual retreat, our herpes free retreat, and so we're gonna be working on that. You're gonna probably start seeing it all over social media about time you see this live. And yes, we're excited about that. I want to say thank you to the queens that host this with me every single Wednesday, Euphoria and aka the Breathwork Goddess and Shayna the Herpes Goddess, and of course our cousins that come and listen We love you. We see you. The community is growing every single day. Y'all are here. Y'all are showing up. Let's do the work. We ain't doing this for play. We doing this for real. This is what we've been called to do. This is what we broke the stigma in our own lives. We did the healing. We're doing the healing. We're showing up. We're looking in the mirror every single day. And all we want is to have as many of you guys do that along with us so we can do this work together. Because when we do it together, that support, that community, our cousins, it hits different when you have somebody who can relate to you, who knows exactly what it feels like to be diagnosed, who knows exactly what it feels like to have them embarrassing thoughts like, yeah, I kind of been playing this victim role a little long too. It might be time for me to hang this narrative up and pick up a new one. You can actually feel comfortable sharing that. And so we're grateful that you're here. It's your girl, Amber, aka Watch Amber, co-founder of Herpes Could Never. And I will see y'all over on Instagram tonight, 7:30 Eastern. Euphoria.
All right, you guys, it's your girl Euphoria, aka the Breathwork Goddess. I'm tapping out. If you guys want to follow me, you can find me on Instagram, Euphoria9As. Also, podcasts coming soon on Anchor. If you want to breathe with me outside of just Wednesdays, welcome. Happy to have you. But I want to leave off by saying one thing. Always remember, you control your reality with your breath. Just stay calm and observe. And a lot of things will make sense. So just wanted to leave you off with that. Very short, very sweet, and very simple. I love you guys. And Shayna, Amber, thank you so much for always having me. I appreciate you ladies. Thank you so much. So that's all, guys. Peace. Shayna.
All right, y'all. Listen. Ain't no herpes stigma over here. I don't even know what that is, all right? I only know what it is right now because y'all keep reminding me of what it is. I done broke that for my life. We good over here. Herpes can't ruin nothing. Herpes ain't stopping nothing. I ain't lower my standards. I ain't lower my boundaries. I raise that shit. And every time I meet my own bar, I raise it even just a little bit more because having me is a big flex. Now, if that's not your scenario, if that's not your life, if that's not your reality around herpes, I got the blueprint. Euphoria got the blueprint. Amber got the blueprint. We can show you how to do it for yourself in your own life, but you're going to have to want to make that investment on yourself, on your life. If you want to be free from the herpes stigma, this retreat is one of a kind. You don't have to search for your favorite herpes advocate and then spend $100 or $150 for an hour just to speak to that one individual. When you really want to speak to Shayna, you want to speak to Euphoria, and you want to speak to Amber. But you don't got $150 for each and every one of us. Well, this Herpes Could Never retreat, we have a physician, we have a therapist, we have an energy practitioner, we have some of your favorite herpes advocates that have been in this for over 10 years. Rich, Alexandria Habuska, she has a large following on YouTube. Beliefs, large following on YouTube. The Yoni Nutritionist. We are international. Our very first virtual retreat is international. We're in Australia. We're in Canada. Time is now to invest in yourself, because this is the time where you're going to have all your herpes advocates in one freaking place.
Yes.
And different rounds and different skills, teaching you about your body, teaching you about your diet, teaching you about your mental, teaching you about your health. If you want to learn how to live with herpes, if you want to learn how to break free from your herpes-free virtual retreat, it's time now to invest in yourself. If you miss out on this opportunity, baby, I don't know what to tell you. You don't want to heal. You want to get back. You want to be a victim. You want to blame everybody for your shit. You want to blame herpes for why your life is where it's at this current moment. If you want that, Herpes Could Never is not the energy for you. You want to break free from it. If you want to live as your authentic self, if you want to feel back to normal again and even better, if you want to put your new on a pedestal like I do, time now. Purchase a ticket. www.herpescouldenever.com. We love you, and we will see you later on this evening on Instagram.